In 2025, the world isn't waiting for you, it's moving with or without you. This year, it's time to stop negotiating with your potential. You owe it to yourself to step into the power of who you were designed to become. In 2025, the question is no longer what can I do? The real question is what was I born to do? Every person under the sound of my voice came into this world with a purpose. Not by accident, not by coincidence, but by design. The greatest tragedy in life is not death, it's life lived without purpose, without direction, without a why. You weren't born to just pay bills, clock in, clock out, and repeat. You were born to fulfill something, something that only you can fulfill, something tailor-made for your fingerprint, your voice, your mind. And in this year, 2025, purpose is not a luxury, it's a requirement. You see, when you understand your purpose, you stop competing, you stop comparing, because purpose clarifies your lane, and when you're running in your lane, you don't have time to look left or right. You're too focused, too determined, too aligned. Some of you have talents you've buried, dreams you've shelved, goals you've downsized because of fear, rejection, or simply because life got loud. But let me ask you, what if the thing you keep avoiding is the very thing you were born to do? What if your frustration is not failure, but misalignment? Purpose doesn't come from opinions, trends, or titles. It comes from within. And until you stop long enough to ask yourself, why am I here? You'll keep moving, but never arriving. Purpose gives pain a reason. Purpose turns pressure into progress. Purpose fuels perseverance. In 2025, you owe it to you to pursue it, protect it, and most of all, live it every single day. Because when you know why you exist, everything else starts to make sense. But here's the question. How do you lead yourself before you can ever lead others? That's the secret hiding in the next step. There is a leader buried inside you, and 2025 is not the year to keep it hidden. Leadership is not about a title. It's not about being loud or standing on a stage. Leadership is first about leading yourself. Before you influence a crowd, you must conquer the war within. Before you give direction to others, you must have direction in your own life. The greatest form of leadership is self-discipline, because when you can master you, there's nothing, and I mean nothing, that can stop you. Too many people are waiting for someone to validate them, waiting for permission, waiting for applause. But what if I told you, your leadership was never supposed to start on the outside? You don't need a position to lead. You need a vision. You need conviction. You need a sense of who you are and where you're going. Because the moment you discover that, you become a force. Not because of your power, but because of your clarity. You see, leadership doesn't begin when you're promoted. It begins when you decide, I refuse to live below my potential. It begins when you stop blaming and start building. When you stop reacting and start responding with purpose. The leader in you is waiting for a decision, not a crowd. And here's the truth. The world doesn't give you what you ask for. It gives you what you demand by your actions, your discipline, and your mindset. If you can't lead your time, your thoughts, your emotions, how will you lead anything greater? In 2025, leadership starts with you. So ask yourself, are you managing your life or are you mastering it? Are you surviving or are you leading? Because the moment you start leading yourself, you begin to unlock something even deeper, something that makes you unstoppable. Once you understand your true value, you are the greatest investment you will ever make. Not your car, not your house, not your job title. In 2025, if you're not building you, you're building on sand. If you're not investing in your mind, your gifts, your growth, you're wasting the most valuable asset you'll ever have, yourself. Let me ask you something. How much time do you spend upgrading your phone, but not your mindset? How many hours do you pour into your work, but neglect your own development? Your value doesn't come from what you do, it comes from who you are becoming. And here's the truth. Nobody is going to build you for you. No one is going to hand you your work. You've got to recognize it, claim it, and cultivate it. The problem is, many people treat themselves like liabilities, when they were designed to be assets. When you see yourself as valuable, you stop tolerating environments that shrink you. You stop settling for people who ignore your worth. You stop saying yes to things that rob your future just to please your present. Because deep down you know you're carrying something rare. But if you don't believe in your value, you'll discount your potential. You'll undersell your voice. You'll bury your ideas. Why? Because you forgot, or maybe you never knew, that your presence on this earth is proof that something inside you is needed. In 2025, you've got to treat you like you're worth something. That means protecting your energy, sharpening your skills, owning your decisions, and refusing to live on autopilot. You're not here to blend in, you're here to bring something. But the question is, what's holding you back from becoming that version of yourself? Because once you break that barrier, you'll learn that discipline is the gatekeeper to your destiny. Discipline is not punishment, it's preparation. In 2025, your success won't come from talent alone. It will come from your ability to stay committed when the feelings fade, when the crowd disappears, and when nobody is clapping. Discipline is doing what must be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. You can have vision, potential, passion, but without discipline, it all dies in the realm of someday. Discipline is the bridge between who you are now and who you're becoming. It's what separates dreamers from doers, and talkers from builders. You've got to ask yourself, are you loyal to your excuses, or are you loyal to your destiny? Because you can't serve both. You can't complain about the results you didn't get from the work you never did. You can't blame life for the goals you abandoned every time it got hard. Every time you say no to distractions, you're saying yes to your purpose. Every time you choose structure over chaos, you're creating room for your future to grow. Discipline is not just about waking up early or checking boxes. It's about becoming the kind of person who can handle the weight of your own potential. Let me tell you, freedom is not the absence of rules. It's the reward of discipline. When you live by principles, not pressure, you become unstoppable. When your habits match your vision, your life begins to move in alignment. In 2025, if you want results, you can't keep living by emotion. You've got to live by intention. Your feelings are visitors, but your discipline builds your foundation. So the question is, what are you willing to endure in order to become the person you are destined to be? Because once you lock in, once you stop negotiating with distractions, you'll begin to see life differently. And that's when vision becomes your greatest weapon. In 2025, the distractions are louder, the noise is constant, and the pressure to fit in has never been stronger. But vision separates the focused from the frantic. It's the internal compass that keeps you steady, even when everything around you is spinning. You can't afford to live another year reacting to everything and creating nothing. You can't keep letting trends dictate your decisions. Vision is not about where you are, it's about where you're going. And if you can't see it yet, you'll follow anything that looks good, even if it's leading you nowhere. Vision gives you no power. Vision tells you what to ignore. Vision says, that's not for me, I'm building something bigger. Because when you have vision, your time becomes valuable, your energy becomes safe, your future becomes non-negotiable. Let me ask you, are you chasing validation, or are you building vision? Because those two don't live in the same place. One is loud and desperate, the other is quiet and unshakable. And in 2025, you need to choose which voice you're going to follow. Too many people are looking around when they should be looking within. What do you see? Not just with your eyes, but with your mind, with your spirit, with your conviction. If you can't see it, you can't build it. And if you're not clear, the world will define your life for you. Vision doesn't just change what you look at, it changes what you look for. You start moving different. You start thinking different. You start living with a level of clarity that cuts through confusion like a blade. So the question is, are you living out of memory or out of vision? Because once your eyes are open, once you truly see, something shifts inside you, and that's when pressure becomes your greatest fuel. Pressure reveals what's real. It doesn't lie, it doesn't flatter, it exposes, and that's why most people run from it. But here's the truth. The version of you you're chasing can only be unlocked through pressure. Diamonds are formed under it. Muscles grow through it. Strength is proven in, and character, that's forged when things aren't easy, when the crowd is gone and when the only voice left is your own. You've been asking, why is this so hard? Maybe the real question is, what is this moment trying to make me into? Because pressure doesn't come to destroy, it comes to transform. You don't grow in comfort, you grow in challenge. Let me tell you something, the people who make the most impact are not the ones who avoided pain, they're the ones who found purpose inside it. They didn't wait for life to get easy, they decided to get stronger. They learned how to breathe under the weight, how to stand when everything inside said sit, how to move forward when quitting looked easier. You've got to stop asking life to be lighter and start asking yourself to be heavier. Heavier in focus, heavier in commitment, heavier in identity, because pressure can't crush a person who knows what they carry. In 2025, your pressure is proof that you're pregnant with potential, that you're carrying something greater than your current situation. But if you walk away from the pressure, you walk away from the person you're becoming. So let me ask you, will you let the pressure define you, or will you let it refine you? Because once you learn how to stand in the fire, you'll discover a new level of power in every single moment. And that's when intention becomes your strategy for living. In 2025, the ones who rise won't be the busiest. They'll be the most intentional. The days of living on autopilot are over. You can't afford to just exist anymore. You have to engage. Every moment you waste, every hour you let slip away without purpose, that's ground you're giving up, ground you'll never get back. Mastering the moment means owning your time, owning your thoughts, and owning your decisions. It means showing up to your life with clarity, not chaos. You see, a lot of people are moving fast, but they're not moving forward. They're busy, but not productive, loud, but not effective. Let me ask you, are you present in your own life, or are you just passing through it? You were never meant to just react to life. You were meant to lead it. That means asking the hard questions. That means stopping long enough to say, why am I doing this? Where is this taking me? Is this helping or hindering my future? When you master the moment, you stop living by default and start living by design. You stop letting the day control you, and you start controlling the day. Because the truth is, life doesn't give you what you hope for, it gives you what you're prepared for, and preparation happens moment by moment. You don't need a new year, a new job, or a new city to change your life. You just need to change how you handle this moment, because how you do now determines who you become next. What you're ignoring today could be the very thing delaying your destiny. In 2025, your focus is your superpower, your ability to be here, to be clear, to be committed. That's what separates average from unstoppable. But here's the real question. Are you ready to activate the potential that's been sitting dormant inside of you? Because once you do, you'll unlock the power that turns potential into reality. In 2025, it's not enough to have potential, you must activate it. You can be gifted, talented, full of promise, but if you don't move, if you don't build, if you don't act, you will bury everything you were born to become. Every day you wait, you delay a version of yourself that's waiting to be revealed. And let me tell you, potential is silent. It doesn't shout. It doesn't force its way out. It waits for permission. Your permission. You've got to decide. No more waiting. No more wish. I'm stepping into who I am now. You weren't created to live small. You weren't designed to shrink to fit someone else's comfort zone. You carry ideas, solutions, visions, answers, and the world needs what's inside you. But potential will never impact the world until it becomes power. So how do you activate it? You act, you commit, you follow through, you show up on the days when it's uncomfortable, and you grind when no one's watching. You break the cycle of procrastination, and you replace it with a pattern of execution, not perfection, progress. Because every time you take a step, your potential takes shape. Every time you push past fear, your power expands. And every time you believe in who you can become, the future shifts in your favor. In 2025, your potential is your responsibility. It's your and if you don't water it, if you don't protect it, if you don't own it, it dies with you. And that is the real tragedy. So I challenge you, Don't leave this year untouched. Don't leave your power unexplored. Don't leave your voice unheard. You owe it to you to unlock every ounce of greatness within you, and you owe it to the world to become what you were always meant to be.